Welcome to Professor Joe's Education Channel and Advocacy, a philosophy lecture series. This channel is the author's collection of philosophy lecture series for student and classroom purposes. A disclaimer is provided to ensure that all information on the site and our mobile application is provided in good faith. We make no representation or warranty of accuracy in any kind, expressed or implied. Thank you.
The Shifting Sands of Morality, an introduction to ethical relativism. Morality, a concept often considered absolute and unwavering, faces a compelling challenge from ethical relativism. This school of thought rejects the notion of universal moral truths, arguing instead that right and wrong are fluid concepts shaped by a variety of factors. Ethical relativism suggests that what is considered morally acceptable in one context might be deemed entirely unacceptable in another. This perspective challenges us to reconsider the foundations of our moral judgments and to engage with the complexities of a world where ethical norms vary widely. Imagine a world where the morality of an action is not judged by a universal standard, but rather by the prevailing norms of a particular society or culture. This is the essence of ethical relativism. It posits that there are no absolute moral truths, only truths that are relative to a particular framework. This can be a difficult concept to grasp, especially for those raised with a strong sense of objective morality. Ethical relativism asks us to consider the possibility that our own moral beliefs, which often feel deeply ingrained and absolute, are not necessarily universal. It suggests that what we consider right or wrong is heavily influenced by the time and place in which we live, the values of our culture, and even our personal experiences. This can be a challenging perspective, but it is one that forces us to confront the complexity of morality in a world of diverse cultures and beliefs. Subjectivity and culture, the many faces of ethical relativism. Ethical relativism manifests in various forms, each emphasizing different sources of moral authority. Ethical subjectivism, for instance, locates moral truth within the individual. It suggests that what is right or wrong is a matter of personal opinion and that no one individual's moral judgment holds greater weight than another's. This individualistic approach to morality can be both liberating and challenging. On the other hand, cultural relativism shifts the focus from the individual to the broader social group. This perspective argues that moral standards are established by the customs and traditions of a particular culture. What is considered right or wrong is determined by the collective wisdom, beliefs, and practices of a society. Cultural relativism encourages us to view different cultures' moral codes not as inherently right or wrong, but as diverse expressions of human values. While ethical subjectivism and cultural relativism represent two prominent branches of ethical relativism, they are by no means the only ones. Other forms, like religious relativism, further complicate our understanding of morality by introducing the concept of divine command theory. Divine command theory, morality dictated from above. Divine command theory, a form of religious relativism, asserts that moral truths are not determined by human reason or cultural norms, but are instead dictated by a divine being. According to this view, what is right is what God commands, and what is wrong is what God forbids. Morality, in this sense, is about obedience to a higher power, rather than adherence to human-constructed ethical systems. This perspective raises important questions about the nature of faith, reason, and the source of moral authority. Divine command theory introduces a complex layer to the discussion of ethical relativism. It suggests that moral truths are not only relative to culture or individual belief, but also to the dictates of a specific deity. This raises questions about the universality of morality, particularly in a world where different religions have distinct conceptions of the divine and its commands. The concept of divine command theory challenges us to consider the interplay between faith and reason in our moral judgments. It also prompts us to examine the implications of grounding morality in religious doctrine, especially in a world where religious beliefs are diverse and often conflicting. Ethical relativism in action, historical and contemporary examples. History is replete with examples that illustrate the principles of ethical relativism in action. Consider, for instance, the varying attitudes towards slavery across different cultures and time periods. What was once accepted as a normal and even necessary institution is now widely condemned as a moral abomination. This stark contrast highlights the evolving nature of moral beliefs and the influence of cultural context on ethical norms. In more contemporary times, the debate surrounding same-sex marriage provides a compelling example of ethical relativism. What is seen as a fundamental human right by some is considered morally unacceptable by others, often based on religious or cultural beliefs. These differing viewpoints underscore the challenges of navigating a world where moral truths are not always universally shared. These examples, both historical and contemporary, demonstrate that what is considered morally acceptable can vary drastically depending on the time, place, and prevailing cultural or religious beliefs. Ethical relativism provides a framework for understanding these variations and encourages us to approach moral differences with sensitivity and a willingness to engage in respectful dialogue. Navigating a world of moral diversity. The implications of ethical relativism. Ethical relativism, while offering a valuable lens through which to understand moral diversity, is not without its critics. Some argue that it can lead to moral paralysis, making it difficult to condemn even the most heinous acts if they are deemed acceptable within a particular cultural context. Others contend that it undermines the possibility of moral progress, as there is no universal standard by which to measure ethical advancement. Despite these critiques, ethical relativism remains a significant perspective in contemporary ethical discourse. It compels us to acknowledge the limitations of our own moral frameworks and to approach ethical dilemmas with greater humility and open-mindedness. In an increasingly globalized world where interactions with diverse cultures and belief systems are inevitable, understanding ethical relativism is crucial for fostering cross-cultural dialogue and navigating ethical challenges in a sensitive and informed manner. While ethical relativism may not provide all the answers to our ethical dilemmas, it serves as a vital reminder that morality is not always black and white. It encourages us to engage in thoughtful reflection on our own values and to approach moral differences with respect and a willingness to understand perspectives different from our own.
Thanks for watching Professor Joe's Education Channel and Advocacy. A full fair use copyright disclaimer statement is provided here. Thank you.